Greetings and salutations. I'm Edward. This is Aristotle, and welcome to the Casso podcast, episode 6, I believe.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get into things. I wanted to actually kind of change up the format because again, we're still working with it, and again, it's only our 6th episode, and so we're going to kind of do a few light moments on NFL first, and then we'll.
Whoa. First,
Yeah.
we missed a week. We were off a week.
We did miss a week, and so I need to say congratulations to Ross and Tina. My sister-in-law got married to her longtime boyfriend, and they're in Hawaii now enjoying life. And so
What a beautiful wedding. I just have to add that as well.
it was a beautiful wedding. We were in Redlands, California, and so we had a good time. And so we want to say congratulations to the happily married couple.
It was so much fun. It was such a blessing to be a part of that with everybody.
It was, and it was fun hanging out before and after, and it was fun. We actually road tripped it for a lot of reasons, but we didn't fly directly, and we were in Vegas a couple nights. We had a good time in Vegas. We had a super good time hanging out with the family. My brother-in-law Manny Ortega, he actually knows how to host people. I love going to their house. All we did honestly was hang out with the boys, tell jokes, smoke cigars.
It was beautiful time.
Yeah.
Beautiful moments, funny moments. I don't think
Funny moment.
I don't think I stopped laughing through most of it. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
So super blessed.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And so yeah, it was super fun hanging out with everybody. Both of my all of my brother-in-laws are fun to hang out with, and my sonny boy was there, which was fun, and so it was a good time. And so that we thought we could get the episode in, but then everything got compressed and we didn't have time to do any editing or anything like that. And so we were just like, we're relatively new, so we can take a week off.
One week off. I know everybody missed us so much.
Yeah, I thought I put on Facebook our 3 fans are going to be disappointed, but
we're back. We're ready to rock.
We're back. We're ready to rock. Now, I wanted to start this week with our NFL picks. We didn't have any last week. We didn't make them. If we had made them, I did go 16-0 last week. So just to let everybody know. It's unfortunate that we didn't capture it on film, but I did go 16-0, and so that's so stupid. Everyone's like, really?
Yeah.
I actually looked at my picks because I actually did my picks, and I went 6-8. So I'm glad those don't count because AJ didn't give me his pick, so I don't have to be.
Yeah, it's too much with work and getting everything situated. But
I don't have
what
to
a
be.
weird week in the NFL as well. It was just really close games, really fun games.
A lot of upsets that you don't normally see, and so that was cool. But
no more undefeated teams.
Yeah, thanks to us.
Thanks.
Thanks to the Denver Broncos.
We're back on the train.
We're back on the real train.
We stopped for a minute, but again, God bless Bo Nix. We had to hop off for a little bit. Not hop off completely, maybe just looking at the next exit.
Well, when we had the podcast before this, so we were like, Los Angeles. I will never stop saying San Diego.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. The Chargers are going to win the division because they were up 3 games already on everybody else. And Denver had just lost 2 heartbreaking losses in the last second field goals. No way. And then last week we got Cincinnati. And obviously that was pretty easy without Burrow to defeat them. And then we went into the Super Bowl champion's house and said, here's one for you too, buddy.
I do believe that we're going to stop with the close games and the sweat moments, which I think are super fun. I love when a game's close. Blowouts are kind of, you lose the interest, but with those super close ones. But I think we're still working out the kinks. I think we went in, we handled business. There's a couple things to work on, but that's week by week. The penalties need to stop, but.
All of that taken into account, we're 3-2, and 6 weeks from now we're going to be 9-2. So
yeah, I'm not mad.
The schedule's that easy. Yeah, we get the Jets in London at 7:30 in the morning on Sunday. Ooh, that's going to be fun to wake up for. But yeah, we get the Jets, and then we got a lot of easy games coming up here, all the way through the Raiders here in Denver. So
really, yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, by November 6th, Denver should be 8-3, 9-2, and in and I can't believe I'm saying this, in firm control of the AFC West, because I still don't believe in Kansas City after what happened.
What's weird is there was a lot of teams that are playing like how they normally would play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Buffalo. That's what they do. You know what I mean. They didn't do to
the
us
Chargers,
last year, but they always. The
Chargers are going to charge.
Yeah,
sorry,
Chargers, Manny. Yeah, the Chargers do that every year since
the Ravens.
Before I was born, the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson's either hurt or he's playing great, and they lose in the playoffs. Either one.
Yeah. So it's weird to see them start folding back already this early into the season.
Yeah.
However, as a Broncos fan, and we're playing good enough football for again the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
I'll eat that up every day.
Oh yeah.
Let us take control. Let us get
Yeah.
to where we need to get, and maybe not this year. I'm not only saying that because if you remember
I
episode
said it.
1 or 2, whichever one it might be, he picked the Broncos and the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. I still think Buffalo's going to pull it off. I love Josh Allen. However, to not give him too much credit, we should be there in a couple years, couple months.
Well, again, we're gonna. And what's funny is that yeah, it's 5 weeks into the season, but we're already assuming, and I myself included, we are already assuming that Buffalo was going to have the 1 seed. That's not going to be the case. What if Denver's the 1 seed and somebody has to come in here and play in the AFC Championship game? It's over. I
And
mean,
in December, January.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
with a coach like Sean Payton, it's over. It really is. I mean, it's not John Fox. This is I mean, we have a Hall of Fame coach, and so that's a real deal now. And so
Yeah.
that's cool to see, because obviously Mike Shanahan should be in the Hall of Fame 20 years ago. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
Hall of Fame coach too, and so it's cool to see. And Kubiak, I mean, who's to say whether or not he should be a Hall of Fame coach? But the year or two that we had of him, we were awesome. So, but we legitimately, Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame coach, and so just knowing that he's going to have us prepared at the end is exciting. Now, those games coming up in December, one of them is the Raiders in Vegas, which I hope you and I get to go see, with our own eyes. We've talked about it for years, but there's always been something. The first year they were there, it was a pandemic, and then I would really, really like to see the Broncos play the Raiders in Las Vegas. Hopefully, we're 10-2 at that point, 11-2, whatever that week is, and we go there and really use the Raiders to springboard into the AFC.
Can I see your phone real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah. Off script.
yeah.
But
No, go ahead.
no, definitely, I 100% agree as well. Let's get into pick'ems for this week.
Actually, when we went over this, we only have two games that we're actually in disagreement about. We have Cleveland at Pittsburgh, and you have Cleveland. I have Pittsburgh. Tell me why you have Cleveland.
I have Cleveland just because of the
Because Dylan Gabriel's the next Peyton Manning.
I just have a good feeling that they're going to come in, handle business like they did with Green Bay.
Yeah.
And honestly, shout out JoJo again, second week in a row.
Oh, I forgot about that.
This might be the one and only time I'm taking your team, so please don't make me look like a fool. And Jim better hear that too.
Yeah. So okay, and then the only other game that we disagree on this week is Seattle at Jacksonville. You have Seattle, I have Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, I saw what they did to Kansas City. That's why I'm going with them. But tell me why you have Seattle.
Their work with the what's it called? With the Bucks was insane work. They were Baker Mayfield is, for all intents and purposes, insane. You know what I mean? He handles business. He goes in there and takes care of what he needs to. And so watching them go head to head, and then Baker Mayfield being Baker Mayfield, it was a cool thing. I think Seattle, because honestly,
it was a good game for sure.
When it comes to the Chiefs, yes, they beat them, but at the same time, like, what are they really beating? It wasn't. That whole game was a snooze fest, or it wasn't a snooze fest, but it was a back and forth of ridiculousness. You know what I mean? I mean, that touchdown that Trevor Lawrence was on the ground for a while.
And Chris Jones was just watching him. He's like, "Oh, he fell 3 times. Should I tackle him?"
He just stood there, dude. Keep in mind, like, they get paid millions.
But people say that's why the NFL's rigged. But I was just like, I don't. That play made me think I'm like an all-pro defensive end, just watching him fall 3 times.
Yeah, because here's a quick story. I would come to my dad and be like, "Oh, the NFL scriptwriters are cooking up something," and my dad, living up his glory days, do you understand how hard it is to play football? Do you understand how hard it would be to fake that? And so for him to say,
there's 22 players on the field, dude. How do each one of them adjust to the script going lightning fast like NFL players do? There's no way. But then it gets to a play like that, and I'm like, he's really just watching him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Now, dude, I watched that game I think we were going over Vale Pass, and I was watching the game in the car, but it reminded me of that time that you and I almost got stuck on Vale Pass in the rental car, I
Mm-hmm.
told Sonia that I was like, man, dude, this is exactly where we were for 30 miles with I couldn't see 5 feet in front of the car. And we were going like 5 miles an hour. It took literally like 4 hours to get over Vail Pass. And then we went to the first hotel that we saw, and it was like a creepy motel. Remember
What
that?
was the name of it? The Snowshoe
The Snowshoe
Lodge.
Inn or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Snowshoe Lodge. Yeah,
And we were
no.
like, and then if we had gone just like a half mile further, there was like a Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to get us off the road, dude. I was like, man, we're in this little rental car in the middle of November. We had gone to Vegas just to hang out.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm the best road trip partner ever that I fell asleep, and I was like dead asleep for hours, and I wake up, and there's not a lot of times where you see genuine fear in your parent, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
you shouldn't want that, right?
Yeah.
But I woke up and I was about to say like some stupid joke or like, "Hey Dad, I gotta pee," you know what I mean? Like just to mess with him and he's driving. But I wake up, look over, and he's like this, driving like this, and he's like tearing up a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, like this is it," you know? And then so then I pay attention and oh, this is scary. This is an ordeal. But luckily we
It's
made it.
like this. I'm like, I cannot believe we were driving here in November in the middle of the night. And what really threw it off is I pay attention to the forecast and stuff like that, and there was no snow or anything.
Mm.
So I'm like, oh, it'll be a cold night, but we'll drive
Oh, it's
through. And
Colorado, yeah.
yeah,
Shout
but
out me. That was my first road trip. So especially over
I
in
was
Vail.
very worried about it because we didn't. Let's let our audience know we took separate cars. You were in a different car,
Hmm.
and I am very proud of you because that drive is no joke. Not only just to Las Vegas, but to California. That's 17 hours with 100,000 truckers that you have to
Oh, it
maneuver
was
through. Yeah.
insane. It was insane, and
How did you do? I didn't even ask you how you felt about that or how you did.
there was a couple parts that were really scary, you know. And um, Emily was with me
Yeah.
driving. Or I say driving. I think she drove maybe 30 minutes the entire trip.
That was like
So
me on the way home.
so that was like that was super scary and
Yeah.
intense, which I don't blame anybody. I'm so I'm such a scared driver that
Yeah.
when other people drive, I'm like, I'm gonna die. At
Yeah.
least if I'm driving and we die, at least I could say I did everything that I could.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, you know
That's a
what I
mark of
mean
a good
though. Like,
driver. No, yeah, but no, it was it worried me not because I didn't think you could handle it because after your first year of driving, which was horrendous, he lost his license literally the first year he started driving. But then
there's too many
ever
speeding
ever
tickets.
since then, seriously, you've been good, dude. So
Yeah, no, I was really worried about California.
oh yeah,
Everybody from California is gonna be like, "Why are you worried about it?" We hear the stories, and there's people in Colorado from with the California license plate
yeah.
that, again, unfortunately, all of them suck and try to drive us off the
So
road.
I told Sonia, I said, in Colorado, I have to dodge a couple of them. Here, I have to dodge 30 million of them.
So as soon as we got into California, I was like,
Yeah,
"Wake yourself up! It's time."
it's
And then
go
it really
time.
wasn't that bad, you know, as long
No,
as you're cautious and let them do what, like how we are here,
yeah,
let them do what they're gonna do, because
yeah,
it's either they're gonna do it or you're gonna die. So I just kind of let them get into it. Oh, you want to cut me off and then lane skip 4 lanes? That's fine. Good luck. I'm not gonna do that, you
yeah.
know. And so just being cautious of that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Vegas wasn't hard at all, although we were.
I don't like driving on the strip. I prefer obviously when we fly out there and we
Yeah, yeah.
lift everywhere, but having a car out there again, it was kind of a pain to like park and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't that bad.
Hmm.
No, it was
No, it
easy.
wasn't bad at all.
And then once you get out of Vegas all the way to Denver, it's pretty easy.
Utah was rough.
It
Utah was rough only because of the wind. It was
it
super
was it
windy,
was super windy. Yeah,
and
the length.
there's just not a lot.
Yeah,
Like once you pass the mountains, when you get towards the anybody who does this road trip, if you haven't, you should do it. It's actually a lot of
it's
fun.
beautiful too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's a part in Utah where it's just like these gray mountains.
hmm,
Do you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? My eyes were like dying inside
hmm,
because it's like that for maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half of just nothing but these gray
yeah,
dirt
yeah,
mountains that play tricks on your mind. But other than that,
yeah.
it was
Especially at night. That's why I was worried because you guys were driving into the night.
okay. But see, here's the thing:
Yeah,
driving at night, going because we stopped in Grand Junction, the or
and
no,
I
we stopped in Riverside,
In Richfield.
Richfield.
No, I thought you guys were going to stay in Grand
Yeah, yeah,
Junction.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But stopping in Utah, 7 hours away from home, I think it helped me more that I was driving at night because those mountains, like you could see them and they were playing tricks on my
Mm,
eyes when I was going because I was like, wow, like why does that cloud look like that? Oh, that's the biggest mountain I've ever seen.
no,
But not fearing about going over the
Oh,
edge.
so you would have been worse if you had seen them. Got it.
Absolutely, because
Okay.
when we were driving through Utah on the way back, it was in the morning, and I mean, we were driving. My dad always used to make this joke where they're not going to put a guardrail here. And I was always like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's not that bad. Just keep driving. No, really, it is that bad.
It's that
When
bad.
you could see what your
Yeah.
demise looks like, yeah, it's really
It's
that
scary.
bad.
It's like, no,
It's
no,
the
no.
worst. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta like get into the left lane, and everybody's trying to kill you just so you don't fall off of a mountain.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But I'm glad you guys did good. And then you actually, excuse me, you actually caught up to us, and that almost caught up to us. You guys got there like
Yeah,
2.5 hours later, and we had left a day before. So
yeah. No, it was
it's good.
fast driving, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You got my phone because I think you want to do something with the comment of the week.
Yeah, we'll save it for later.
No, go ahead. Let's get it done now, and then we can get into everything else.
Okay, well, uh,
And again, it's a $10 Starbucks card. It's not anything
yeah, it
right now.
right now, but
Once we get,
eventually,
that's why we say like, subscribe. Once we get 1,000 subscribers, we're
oh,
talking
these
hundos of gifts.
these comments of the week
You
are
get a
gonna go
gift. You
crazy.
get a gift. You get a gift.
Anyways, this week, shout out my boy Elijah
Yeah.
Vio. You always you have supported us since day one,
Yeah.
and gave us a lot of good tips as well. He was super
Absolutely.
helpful at the production side of it.
Yeah.
So I can't express it enough. And your comment on last episode, um, I'll put it right there. It was super like inspiring
Yeah.
to
It really
read that.
was.
You know what I mean? Because that was the whole basis of our
Yeah.
conversation 2 weeks ago for the
Mm-hmm.
pod was exactly what he said, and
Yeah.
you know he texted me personally about the podcast afterwards. So honestly, the comment was one good, and two, Elijah, you're the goat. I appreciate you for leaving a comment in the first place as well.
Yeah.
So with that being said as well, guys, please keep commenting, keep interacting with us, and uh, we read everything. You
Yeah.
know, and I can't wait to keep moving forward with that. You know,
Yeah.
last episode was actually, in my opinion, me and my dad were talking about it this entire trip. It was way different than what we've been doing because it was very like um, us going back and forth politically, which is a conversation, and I wouldn't say it was a hard conversation, but it was definitely a little bit more interesting than you know most things. So I appreciate the involvement with that as well because I
Yeah.
know that it wasn't. And again, like people in uh, our lives say that they love how much that we are opening this conversation for
Yeah.
everybody. So please leave a comment and keep this conversation going. That's the
Yeah.
only way to keep going,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you and I talked about when we were setting out to start and everything like that, so I did want to have a political aspect of it for a lot of reasons.
Hmm.
But I definitely don't want to just focus on that. And so I want to kind of, I like shows like Bill Maher.
Yeah.
I like Scaramucci. The dude from the old Trump dude. I like Scaramucci. I just like guys that just like talk and tell it how it is and have a little bit of fun, a few jokes and that kind of stuff. But I do want to talk about those type of things too, just because it's important to understand the world we live in.
No, absolutely. I think it's super important. One, we've been doing this since I could remember, honestly, talking
Yeah.
politics and whatnot. Um, but two, I do like our sports talks and our
Yeah.
movie talks and whatnot. But
Yeah.
when the world is as crazy as the world can get, I think that it is the most appropriate thing is to try to bring everybody together when there's so much division
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. If you're wearing a blue shirt and I don't like you wearing, or somebody doesn't like me wearing a blue shirt, then that's going to cause division.
Yeah.
And I think that opening that conversation, oh, you shouldn't wear a blue shirt for X, Y, and Z. Okay, well then that's different, and I think that that's super important to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's talk about Three Eye Atlas just for a second, because it kind of freaked me out because they were supposed to have pictures that there's a Taiwanese and a Chinese probe that's literally around Mars right now. There's two different probes right there, and they were pretty close to the actual comet entity, whatever it is. And so they took pictures of it, but they didn't share that data not only with their own scientists in their own country, but they didn't data share with other countries like normally they do, like NASA does with them, and vice versa. And our James Webb Telescope actually should have got a pretty clear view of it while it was passing Mars, and I haven't seen anything in 3 days since all of that was supposed to happen. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm not trying to be conspiracy or anything like that, but that concerns me because I thought we would at least see a picture of a rock like Momo, or a picture of a comet and the tail and that kind of stuff like that. Because it's the closer it gets to the sun, obviously the tail starts coming out and it looks like a real comet. I actually saw a comet with my own eyes back in, I think, 96 or 97. Hale Bop, the one that the Heaven's Gate, that cult, they all killed themselves because
We're not laughing at that.
no, no,
That's
no, no,
funny.
no,
You know
no,
what I mean? But
no. But it's like
it was crazy
it
at
was
the
crazy,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so the leader, they like 30 people died because they
yeah. They all
drank
believed,
they
yeah.
drank Kool-Aid
And they had
like
their
Jonestown, yeah,
black Nikes on,
yeah, 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 yeah,
and their I can't
yeah,
purple something. I can't remember what it
like
was, but
these robes and everything like
yeah,
that. And
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
they were like the comets coming for us. But actually, I saw Hale Bop in the sky, and it was pretty cool. It was about that big in the sky, if you could like picture what I'm saying. It was like that. And so I've seen a comet with my own eye. I saw Halley's Comet in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, my dad bought me a telescope and everything. I'm such a dork, but yeah, he bought me a telescope to see it. We didn't end up seeing it through the telescope, but my dad ended up driving me up to CU, and we saw it through that telescope, and that was pretty cool.
Oh,
But this one, I don't know if I don't think it's going to be visible from Earth, but right now it's going behind the sun, and they think that it's going to do a maneuver, and if it comes back around, that means it's coming towards us. How come they're not sharing any data or any pictures that they've taken in the last 3 days? What's your opinion?
my my sci-fi knowledge wants to say that it's aliens, but then my logical, they probably just don't care. You know what I mean? They probably don't want to feed to it. Well, no, because they're feeding to a conspiracy, but they probably,
Yeah, it's hard to say.
that's
I can
very
think
hard.
I
Yeah.
can think of a billion. I can think of a billion ways to say. I can think of a billion ways to say different things,
Mm-hmm.
or as to why they are not doing it. But I can also think it's like, wow, is this really something that we should be concerned about?
It could be. War of the Worlds is a really good movie. I just, I just rewatched that the other
Star
day.
Wars is pretty good.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty cool too. Yeah.
Death Stars are pretty cool. I mean, come on. But it's yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up because I did promise all of Sonia's aunts in California that I have an update. I don't have an update because there's no update. I've actually been reading all day trying to
Which
find.
might be the update.
Yeah, but that's the update. 3i Atlas is going to come for us, and there's nothing we can do. that's so, that's so
Do you know how many
stupid.
texts you're gonna get? Like,
I know that's ridiculous, but
Can I leave my house?
no, that's silly. Okay, dude, I don't really want to talk. I he exhausts me. He exhausts my the essence of my being. I don't want to talk about Trump anymore, but he keeps making us. Now we have the Battle of Portland, the Battle of the North Shore of Chicago. I mean, what is your take on everything? I mean, let's just do a free for all. I don't want to talk about any specific subjects because honestly, all this ICE stuff is kind of lame. Honestly, they're
Yeah.
they're 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 trying to flex, but they don't know how to flex, and that's ridiculous. For one, and everybody, and we keep going back. Oh, is this 1933 Germany? No, Germany never had a republic. They had a 10-year republic before Hitler took over. So they didn't have that foundation like we have of 250 years
Mm-hmm.
of a system of checks and balances, a system of separation of powers, a system of all this kind of thing. And so and now you're starting to see the cracks in. Like today, I posted about the Republicans saying, "Hey, look, once the new representative from Arizona gets sworn in, there's 218 votes to release the Epstein files, and he's done." There's
Mm.
hundreds of Republicans saying that in Congress right now.
See,
There,
so talking about Portland and Chicago,
no,
we did an episode where, for lack of better terms, I was kind of like, okay, Chicago is a system, it's a town that needs to be taken control of, and blah blah blah. And you were arguing the same point that you've been today, so I
no,
applaud you for not changing that.
no,
However, like I always say, if the facts are more important than my own opinion, then I'm gonna change my opinion.
sure.
And seeing, because what they said that Tennessee is the most
Memphis, yeah, Memphis, Tennessee, yeah.
is the most crime ridden
As
state
far as
in.
like violent crime and murder and that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, but then like you got to logically think about that too, because it's not just like morally, okay, that's kind of great, but logically, why are we going to Oregon first, which is a blue state, right? Correct me if
Oh
I'm
yeah,
wrong.
oh yeah, yeah. They're
When Tennessee is a red state and they're number one on crime.
yeah,
There's got like that logically doesn't make sense. That
or
logically is flawed.
yeah,
Because if you if you're gonna do your best to try to clean up all crime and make you know crime, and again, like they're sending tanks tanks into these places to scare people. At the same time, like I don't think that it's fair that you're avoiding
Yeah.
the number one, and I don't even know where Portland's at on that scale or whatever. But it seems so hypocritical and counterintuitive
Well,
to
it's
do it for one but
yeah.
not for the other.
Well, it almost seems all for show too, because 200 National Guardsmen are not going to be able to patrol a whole city.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. And the fact that there's been injunctions both in federal court and in state court, I believe, in that he's not able to actually call up the Oregon or the Illinois guard because they've been blocked, and now he's calling guards from other states. He's like, the California guard already got him, so you guys go up there. It's just it's silly because I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
they're not coming in with machine guns mowing people down or anything like that. Thank God, because that would obviously start something pretty
Mhm.
serious. They're going out there. They're trying to flex, and it just looks stupid. It makes us look so stupid as a country. It makes us look. He thinks it projects strength, but it projects weakness because we can't even. We have a president that literally seems like he's nuts. He can't even
Oh, well, I
function.
mean,
Yeah,
I think our last episode was right before Kimmel came back. I think. I might be wrong. I don't know
it
if we
was no, it
touched
was
on it.
right after he came back.
I mean, he's losing his mind over that still. Still.
He's losing his mind over everything.
And I just it's sometimes it's really hard to watch, cuz
Yeah.
like I mean, that no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm
Well,
not even going to go there.
a lot of people that are, excuse me, a lot more sophisticated politically than me even, and know a lot more. And there are people out there. I don't think there's a lot of people out there, but there are. Um, and they say, well, what if Trump leaves office and then you have Vance? Well, I think Vance would be a lot easier to deal with because
No, absolutely.
I mean
But
he served in the U.S. Senate, and so
and to
he has
yeah.
that decorum and all that kind of stuff. And then he doesn't seem he's not nuts. I mean
Mhm.
he's conservative, cool. He's Republican, cool. That's what elections are for.
Mhm.
So
No,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
JD Vance is he seems like he could be reasoned with. You know what I
yes,
mean? If that makes any sense.
yes,
He seems like
yeah,
if I had an opinion about what's going on, he could at least listen to it. He
yeah.
doesn't have to follow it. But if I was sitting in front of Trump and I said some, I'd
You're fired.
dude, I'd be
You're in
cooked.
jail. You're
Dude,
fired.
I'd be cooked all over.
Yeah.
Um, speaking about jail and the Epstein files, did you see that? I think it was yesterday or the day before when they were like, "What's her name? Epstein's wife or accomplice?"
I don't say it right. Giselle Maxwell.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Gazelle. You say gazelle.
Is that not it? I
That's
think
an
it is.
I think
Anyways,
that's an animal in Africa.
but they were like, "Hey, have you thought about pardoning her?" And he goes, "I don't even know who she is."
So, it's just it's
Yeah,
silliness.
he was like,
Oh
"Can
my
I,
goodness.
as a president, can I even pardon people?"
He has like 7,700 pardons this year.
But they said her
Oh
name,
my
and I know
god.
I'm misquoting it, but it was just
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
that
yeah.
he acted about it was hilarious, dude. I was laughing all morning when I saw that in the news.
Yeah. And so what they hoped would happen is that there'd be a bunch of protesters. The protesters would act out. They would get to shoot them or hurt them or
Hmm.
whatever, and we would start a civil war. But what they don't understand, and it goes back to the focus of our podcast, son, and I'm being real serious about it, is that 80% of us are right there in the middle.
Hmm.
There's a fringe left, 10% of the people. There's a fringe right, 10% of the people, and then there's MAGA, which in my opinion is only 5% of the people out there. And so the 80% in the middle are never going to go for any stunt, and it's political
No,
stunts.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and so
But
yeah, go ahead.
it's logically thinking. There
Yeah.
was there was something my dad told me a long time ago, and it makes a lot of sense. There was a time, there's multiple times in politics where a certain ideology is needed and
Hmm.
is necessary. Um, when you told me when Baby Bush had his term,
Yeah,
everybody was leaning more liberal. Everybody,
yeah,
and Obama got in.
yeah,
And then after Obama's 8 years, they all started leaning conservative.
yeah.
And kind of when Trump got in the first time, I genuinely feel like it was just such a shift
Hmm.
in people's uh, heads. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like there was, because now you're just hiring. And hiring, then now you're electing a celebrity. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it was like it was way different. It was crazier at the
Yeah.
Republican convention
No.
when he was like making he was cooking all of them. He was getting them all really good.
Oh my
And that
God.
was exciting at the time. You know what I mean? That was super like, oh my God, he just did that to
Or,
Jeb Bush.
or it was. I mean, it was. I hate when he made fun of the reporter. The
No,
reporter.
no,
I
no.
know I'm not gonna do it, but it was just like it's a joke. It's a,
But it
yeah,
was
and
like it
Jeb Bush
was
too.
Jeb Bush. It was
Yeah.
just different at the time. And then after Trump's first time, regardless of whatever,
No.
but everybody started leaning more left again.
Yeah.
And then after Biden's, everybody started leaning more right again. So
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you when you say that there is a certain time and place for
Yeah.
politics, but that goes to what you're saying. 80%
Yeah.
are in the middle and go for what's going to help their families out the
Yeah.
most. And you know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
how you should be living.
No.
And I think, sorry to cut you off, Dad,
No.
but
No. You're not at all.
I think that that is the only real way for ideas to continue to be spread. You know, if just because I'm not affiliated with being Democrat or Republican doesn't
Hmm.
mean that I don't have morals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't have uh,
A basis on your beliefs.
exactly,
Yeah. A basis
exactly,
for your beliefs. Yeah.
exactly. So if I, in my opinion, if one day I'm leaning left, right? One day they say so, the left says something.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm sick of saying left. The Democrats say something,
Yeah.
and I agree with it morally, ethically. It makes sense to me. Okay, then awesome.
True.
But then the next day, Republicans could say something, and if it's morally, ethically right, then okay. Then if it helps the betterment of everybody else, there shouldn't be a problem. And that's what we were talking about last week so much
Hmm.
is the divide between that.
Yeah.
We're all Americans at
Yeah.
the end of it. That's it,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's no I don't think that we should consider um any of them to be radical.
Yeah.
There's I think Manuel, shout out Manuel, said it the other day. Everybody pays attention to the
Yeah.
noise so much, the ones that cause the most amount of problems
Yeah.
and um
How do you think I made a name for myself?
uh, but
I mean, seriously. Yeah.
that is really hard not to see, and
Yeah.
I get that. But to we were talking about it earlier tonight actually. Um, to marginalize a whole group
Yeah.
off of one person that's being loud is
Yeah.
shouldn't be necessarily the way to go about it
No. No. No.
on either side.
Yeah. I had a professor. Um, I think it might have been an intro class. It wasn't anything sophisticated, but he said politics in America is structured to be like a metronome. Real like this pen, like here, just real back and forth, sometimes to the left, sometimes to the right. You know it gets broken when it goes too far that way or too far that way. The system isn't meant to handle it, and that's why we're having so much trouble right now, and that's why it seems so divided even more so, is because it has gone to where nobody is. Like I said, I think 5% of this country is legitimately MAGA in their heart, and so the country's stuck over here like this, and all 95% of us don't know what to say or what to do to make things better, except just watch and say what he does and say, oh, I hope that's illegal. I hope the courts rule against
Mm-hmm.
him. I hope this and that. And so that we're in a time right now where I've never been, even with Republican administrations or Democratic administrations that like Bill Clinton,
Mm-hmm.
the they 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 tended they tended to be more moderate. Democrats tended to be more moderate because they had to be, or they would lose votes. Obama was pretty much a moderate, and I know a lot of people don't agree with that statement, but
Yeah.
the only thing of substance that he passed was the Affordable Care Act, and so I don't want to hear that all these policies were enacted, all this DEI stuff that comes from outside of the party. Even it comes from a philosophy of saying, hey, look, these people have been marginalized for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
How about they get a seat at the table now? And so that's what DEI really is about. It doesn't have anything to do with implementing anything because again we're a country of laws, and anything that isn't done in Congress, including executive orders and all that kind of stuff, doesn't mean anything because it has no substance and has no teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I like that metronome one. Every time I think about it, I'm like that in my
No,
head.
but that makes a lot of sense, and that's
Yeah.
what I was attesting to
Yeah.
earlier. And
Yeah.
that's a very good, better way than I was like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. No, but
Yeah.
that is a very, in my opinion, brilliant way of saying that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
The greatest presidents and the greatest leaders in Congress in the history of this country all were in the middle,
Hmm.
and they did things, extraordinary things, like Lincoln or like Johnson or Kennedy or any great president that anybody thinks of on either side. They were all in the middle politically, but they did extraordinary things.
And trying their best to unify
Yeah,
this country,
yeah,
which is should be number one.
yes,
If if
absolutely.
if any message should be out there, it's
Yeah,
about being unified. But I, I don't agree with everything that you do, and you're my dad,
sure.
and you don't agree with everything I do, and
Yeah,
I'm your son.
yeah, yeah,
So to put that as a way of like, hey, wait a minute, I could I could still care about my father even though he doesn't like, I don't know, French toast, or let's just say something
sure.
stupid like that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Oh, I love French toast so much. If you don't like it, I can't. We can't. We can't ever split bread again.
no.
You know what I mean? That's such a corny way of thinking about life,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
But it's what the country is right now, and I'm not going to say it's all MAGA because I post every day
Hmm.
anti-Trump, anti-MAGA stuff, and I'm just like, hey, wait a minute, dude, take a step back. Just because you disagree with what that little part of the country is doing, how about trying to unify? And that's what I've been doing lately. I've been trying to actually unify. I'm friends with obviously a lot of Republican and business people in politics and that kind of stuff on social media. And I always feel bad when I say something because I'm like, I hope they don't think I'm talking about them. I hope
Hmm.
they think I'm just talking about that little group that's
Of
messing up the
that
country
loud,
right now. Yeah,
the
the
loud
loudness,
noise.
the
Yeah.
loudness. Yeah,
Hmm.
and so it makes it hard. But it's just like I said, the whole point of us starting this is to hopefully get people talking a little bit more. Because like I said, there's stuff on the left and stuff on the right, but there really isn't a lot in the center. And so I think that's
Oh,
where we come in and we have value.
no, absolutely. I
Yeah,
100% agree on that.
yeah. So all right,
Yeah,
buddy.
weird times, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're times. Any other thing you wanted to discuss this week? I'm pretty much done with the political rant. I think we'll have a lot more to say next week. We're kind of winging it this week just because we just got back home from
Yeah, yeah, we
from
just got
California,
back, so it's
and
been.
so yeah, kind of winging it, not necessarily. Um, not that we study anyways, but you know what I'm saying. Just getting ready. We're not journalists.
We should be like
Yeah,
you do.
we we don't have master's degrees in journalism. We're not sitting here Walter Cronkite, but I think just because we are middle class, average working class Americans, that we have something of value. Because again, we're that 80% that's in the middle, and I think that hopefully people see some value in that.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's October, so that means
Oh,
it's
dude,
Halloween time.
I love this time of year. Next week, I'm going to have a little diorama or whatever you want to call it that's going to be Halloween themed. You know how I get. I'm pretty dorky. We're going to have Thanksgiving themes.
Yeah.
You're gonna wear a Santa hat in
Well,
in December.
I'm sure everybody heard the change in the music this week. That's how it's going to be for the entire month of October. Uh,
Yeah,
the Rocky is out for now.
yeah.
It's
We're gonna
taking a break, but the so I hope everybody likes the spooky music.
yeah we're going spooky for
Yeah, it's
three
spooky
three or
theme
four weeks,
for a couple weeks, but
and then at the end of we were talking about it, but we are gonna do it as best we can. Obviously, I don't think we can wear masks, but we're gonna do
all
some
right,
kind of costume.
don't give too much away,
Yeah,
Dad, because it's gonna be super exciting. But
I'll probably just be a vampire with fangs.
so
Oh, it's
yeah,
silly.
no, these next couple episodes are gonna be a lot of fun. This is our favorite time of the year, me and my dad's.
Yeah,
Ever since I was a kid, we always
yeah,
cherished it. My shout out my grandma. From decorating, from we would decorate the house for Halloween,
yeah,
for Thanksgiving. We
yeah.
would decorate the
We
house.
have turkeys all over the
Yeah, we would
place,
have
and
turkeys and like little pilgrims.
remember we did selfies. We had those selfie sticks with
Oh,
pilgrim stuff.
yes. So we would.
But that's what bros giving's coming up too, buddy. We'll have to talk about that next. Well,
Mhm.
not maybe not next week, but in the coming weeks because that is my favorite. That's one of my favorite holidays. Is the night before Thanksgiving, and we have a few drinks and have a few cigars.
Okay, when he says a few, it's not a few. We literally don't survive every year. We don't survive. This is my cry for help. Because
Actually, on those nights, unfortunately, again, everybody knows my dad passed away 3 years ago. That is a literal cry every time when his songs start coming on.
and it's always at the end when
Yeah,
we've had way too much.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
never his songs never play at the beginning because I put the mix like on shuffle, and then at the end of the
Then
night we're like, oh, nice.
yeah, at the end of the night, American Pie comes on, and I like all I got to do is slightly look at my dad, and his lip is shaking, and I'm just
Oh
done
man.
crying.
Oh man. It's silly, but it's true, and it happens
We've
every year.
had some. Let's talk about
Yeah,
bros
yeah. Yeah, we could.
before we sign off, because
Now
yeah.
put it into context. There's Bros Giving, Brosmas, and then
Mhm.
Bros Birthday. And we used to, a long time ago, we used to do Bros Vacation, right? The night before we went on
Oh
vacation,
yeah,
we would do
yeah. I
that too.
totally forgot about that till
But yeah,
just
we
now. But we would get. Oh man, I forget. Grandma watches this. Oh, she knows. Um,
we would get, not outside the realms of legality or anything like that, but we'd get pretty drunk.
we would like. I remember the first time we did it. We were just like. I think it was the night before Thanksgiving. Um,
Yeah,
we were like, oh, all right, let's try this. This might be fun.
yeah.
Like this sounds like an exciting idea. And I think we both individually uh, fell asleep in the bathroom for about an hour and then crawled out and crawled our way to our room.
Yes.
And so that first one I'll always remember.
Yeah.
That was the worst I've ever been. I remember like everybody the
And we
next.
don't condone drinking like that. We're just saying it happens.
It's once a year.
It
We're in a
happens.
safe space.
Yes.
But
It happens 4 times a year. 2 birthdays and Bros Giving and Bros. But what's cool about it, yeah, that let's stop making us look bad, because we're not. Well, we can party. You were in Vegas with me the other night, but the point being is we put on Christmas music, especially on
yeah,
Bros
yeah,
Giving and
and it
Brosmas.
or for his birthday
Yeah.
just passed, it was like it's always the greatest hits
Yes.
of me and my dad being me and my dad. We listen to music all the time, and it's always like,
Yeah.
and a song will come on, and I'll be like, "Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Do you know where this is from?"
Yeah.
And so it's always just a good time for us to get together. Like
Yeah.
that's all we really do is just get together. We just find excuses to get together,
Yeah.
but it's super fun.
Yeah.
I do remember that first one though. I mean, I remember the next day that everybody's popping champagne bottles
Yeah.
almost, and it's like, you want one? I
Yeah.
I think I'll die.
Yeah. I think I didn't drink for a month between Bros Giving and Brosmas. That was the next time I drank, because it was like, ooh. And then we tried to do stupid stuff, like we'll pick like alcohol from our favorite movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That one that got us in trouble. That one is when we did the Spanish version of Vanilla Sky, and it was called Ballantine's Whiskey. I've never drank Ballantine's whiskey before that or after that,
But it's
especially
just
after that.
funny that they
Yeah,
did it in the movie. Or Bad Santa for Christmas, he
old
drinks
granddad.
Old Granddad. You can't even that stuff is so bad you can't even find it anymore.
It's
And
hard to find. We have switched to Jim Beam rye.
yeah,
It's a rye whiskey that in Bad Santa that he drinks. Well, like the whole movie, he's drinking little pints of it. He gets it at the bar and everything like that. So we're like, oh, that's
so
cool.
we try. I can't even smell that stuff anymore without wanting to just die.
Rye whiskey. That's just,
Rye whiskey isn't bad. There's something about that Old Granddad that is just
well, because I think it's like 100 proof, dude, and so that makes it worse. Yeah, it's like rye whiskey on fire.
yeah, no. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for the holidays. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, the
It's
holidays are fun.
exciting.
Yeah, and
Uh,
we do stupid stuff like that just because. And I always wanted to make him feel like a bro. I mean, I always told him, you're my son, but you're my brother too. And so that's where it kind of, the genesis of it. We don't go out. We're not in public. We're just sitting here at my house or at his house and just having fun. And so it's nothing. It's nothing.
yeah,
It's tame. It's pretty tame.
everybody knows that we're doing it. So like,
Yeah, everybody laughs and they're
it-
like, "Oh, you guys are stupid." Oh,
yeah, and it's never too much out of control. But if it does get that way, we obviously have people that will take care of us enough to,
yeah. Yeah. When I start putting on those masks, that's when it gets out of control, buddy.
That was a bad one. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna tell that story this one.
No,
but
that's
I'm
not.
sure we'll tell it someday.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everyone's like, "What is wrong with him?"
oh, dude, that was a rough one.
That was a rough one, dude.
Cool.
All right, buddy. Well, let's like I said, we'll have the Halloween set up next week, but I'm gonna sign off for now. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Again, like, share, youtube.com @Casso Podcast will get you to our website.
And comment.
And comment, please comment, subscribe, like, tell your friends. Say, hey, we have found some funny dudes. They're nerds. They're idiots. They have fun. They drink. They talk football. They talk politics like idiots. They're morons, and that's all fine and well because that's what we are. But just give us some more likes. Help us get out there because we really want to start getting bigger, and that's part of it is getting through that algorithm and getting through YouTube and then going from there. And You're going to start seeing a lot more clips from us too on Instagram and on TikTok and on Facebook, and those are going to be to get the word out and get people interested in the podcast. And then I like I was telling AJ, and I hope I wonder people that watch us too if they think the same thing as I do. I used to religiously listen to 5, 6, 7 podcasts. I don't. It seems like these days that my attention span, or I just don't have time for it, or whatever. So I like to catch a lot of my, especially my political stuff, on Reels. And so we're going to start doing that a lot more. We're going to have actual content from the podcast itself, and then clips that where we're talking about what's coming up on the show this week and that kind of stuff. And so just get ready for that kind of stuff. And this guy will keep doing the funny stuff too, because it is funny when he puts Jim Carrey on our promos and that kind of stuff. So we'll do that. And like you said, get ready for some spooky music because it's almost Halloween. And I really love Halloween, even though I haven't, honestly, I never dress up. I haven't dressed up since I was a kid. I just love the time of year. And I loved watching actually you guys dress up.
He loves like any holiday movie.
Yeah.
This guy's like,
yeah.
This is the time. I'm sure.
Tales of Halloween.
I'm sure Sonia's gonna get sick of that movie. I'm sick of those movies.
Tales of Halloween. Yeah, so. Trick or treat.
Oh my gosh!
And they're really stupid.
He's seen them 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I can't. But we watched Star Wars 1,000 times, so I really can't.
It's funny.
I really don't have anything good to say. Like I don't have an argument.
Then Christmas movies, here they come, buddy.
Then he becomes into.
Yeah. Clark Griswold.
Yeah, he becomes into Edward Hallmark.
Yeah, Edward Hallmark.
That's how he is.
Oh, watch it.
It continues into January for a little bit, and then he gets sick of it. And...
Yeah, it does. It's funny, dude. All right, buddy. So we're gonna sign off for this week. Again, thanks for everybody for watching, and thank you to my sonny boy Aristotle. I'm Edward, and thank you for watching the cat go. It's a little late.
We took a week off.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the Casso podcast, and have a good night and have a good week. Bye.